poll question right now. It is currently at 51% to 49%. Would trading for Shohei Ohtani be worth it for the Giants if he's still left in free agency? 51%, Joe Shasky says, yes. What does Nick in Berkeley think? Nick in Berkeley, you're 95.7 The Game. What's up, bro?
Me, Nick.
Man, with the price of garlic fries and the beer, man, it's like $50. I'm like, man, can y'all go out and just sign Ohtani, man? I mean, the one person that comes to mind after Bonds is Carlos Beltran as being a name brand. Can anybody think of any bigger name than him? Come on, man. The Giants fans we deserve better, man. I've been a Giants fan since I was born, man. I'm 54. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. I mean, they won the World Series, man. But it was a lot of luck in that, too. A lot of teams were making errors. If you remember those playoff games, we had some crazy plays and some weird stuff going on. But Panda was killing it, and Lefty was going nuts. But I'm just like, man, if you want to get over the top right now, go get that, man. That's a special player right there, man. He's insane, man. And I don't even know why the Giants haven't signed, to your point, more international players.
Well,
like what? Anybody from Cuba, Japan, anywhere? Because what's going on?
I think there's an impression of the Bay Area, fair or not, and I think that what ends up happening is because you haven't signed anybody, no one's ready to take that leap.
Yeah.
Right? That leap of faith. And once you do get someone, now you become that destination spot. Look, like, again, the Phillies, the San Diego Padres, the New York Mets, they may not be winning at the highest level, but clearly they're doing something where guys all want to play together and join and get the big-time contracts. I'm looking at this lineup right now, right? Like, yesterday's lineup was Lamont Wade Jr., Jock Peterson, J.D. Davis, Conforto, Yaz. If I just keep it the same, let's just say hypothetically none of those guys are moved, and I keep it the same, and I put Shohei Ohtani in there, is Jock Peterson going to get better pitches to hit? I get Jock as a niche player.
Yeah.
Is J.D. Davis, who's been one of the better Giants this year in terms of home runs, RBIs, batting average, WAR, defense.
Oh, yeah.
J.D. Davis has been awesome. Conforto, who was clutch as hell yesterday.
Yes.
Well, does he not benefit from having Shohei Ohtani in the lineup?
It's everything benefits. From the top of the organization, it trickles down to everything, Joe. Like, that's why people were so in on Aaron Judge. It's because you thought getting that big name guy would have a ripple effect, a trickle-down effect from the top all the way to the bottom. Getting guys in here that are marquee free agents signifies to fans and the rest of the organization, we're in it to win it. That's why going for Shohei, I'm all in on it. 888-957-9570. Are you in on it? We'll continue to take your calls and texts as it pertains to Shohei Ohtani. What would you give up for him? If getting Shohei Ohtani means he wouldn't re-sign in free agency, would you still do it anyways? That is our Twitter poll question of the day. Search 95.7 The Game, like and subscribe. Hit the bell.
Is this bigger than Bryce Harper? When Bryce Harper hit free agency, is this bigger than that?
Yes. Yes, because I think Shohei at this stage is better than Bryce was then. I think he is more
really?
Yes.
Okay.
I just think he's that bigger of a guy. And I know.
Yeah.
Bryce was pegged up as a phenom since he's been in high school. I get all that. But Shohei does it on both sides. He's just so unique, Joe. He's an international guy. He throws 100 miles an hour and he hits tanks. Like what is he at right now? 34 home. Like what is he? He's on pace for 60 home runs, 59 home runs. It's unbelievable. There's no one like this guy. If it was just an Aaron Judge or Bryce Harper, maybe I wouldn't be inclined. But because he can do it from both sides, I'm all in, man. I'm all in.
So the Philadelphia Phillies signed Bryce Harper in 2019, right? That offseason, if you will. They've really only been over 500 twice in that time.
Yeah.
And they went to a World Series.
They did.
Don't you think the Phillies are doing that deal every single day?
Well, because he's a name that you can market. All due respect to the Giants, who you marketing right now.
And he got hurt.
Yeah.
And yet, I look at how the Phillies have been built. You don't get Trey Turner without Bryce Harper. You're definitely not getting the outfielder Castellanos without him. And I definitely don't think you're getting to the World Series last year without him.
No, it's a good point. And they're missing Rhys Hoskins this year, but they look hot. Schwarber, by the way, just hits bombs after bomb after bomb. I feel like only the hits he gets are home runs.
In a row.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the Phillies have won. Yeah, they're on fire right now.
They're streaking right now. The Reds, they're cooling down.
The Orioles have won 8 in a row.
Okay.
They're whatever, like 8 for the last 10.
I do have the MLB standings up here as I have 50 million tabs open, so it does take a while. But I do know the Giants are at the top right now. They're a half game. They're tied with Miami right now in the percentage column. They're like at 0.01% of them. So they're technically in first. Then you got the Marlins. Then you got Arizona. Then, yeah, the Phillies right there, right behind Arizona, half game back. You got Cincinnati. That kind of feels, Joe, like real quick, if you take a macro view, that feels like the cluster, like maybe the Padres going to run. There's a lot going on there, man. They thought Bob Melvin was going to be that dude. He's just, the individual agendas there. And that's why I do appreciate a team like the San Francisco Giants, who may not be as individually as talented as the San Diego Padres, but they're cohesive.
But what are the two things that the Giants need for right now to win this year? Like, let's strip this back. What are the two things that they need right now for this year? A middle of the order popper.
And another starting pitcher.
This guy provides both of those.
Both of them.
All right, so
two birds, one stone.
And look, and I'll worry about the offseason in the offseason. So you get the test drive of the Shohei Ohtani. But in the interim, you get a guy that you could slot right after Logan Webb, okay, in the rotation. You're already essentially doing a six-man rotation with all these openers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you now have a 1-2 punch that is formidable. Logan Webb, Shohei?
Are you kidding me?
Okay, let's say you get into a wild card game, all right? And you got to burn Logan Webb. Well, now you got Shohei in your back pocket.
And I feel a lot better about Alex Cobb as a 3 than
Absolutely.
I do a 2. Then you're feeling like, oh, I just got an all-star at 3 right now. Are you kidding me? I have an all-star lineup, these top 3 guys, because that's what you need. Like 4 and 5, like do the bullpen thing. Like I'm fine with that.
Exactly.
Because as Bonte and you have said this past week and past couple weeks, like this feels like a legit playoff World Series type of bullpen.
Yeah.
Like that's how legit it is. And let's be honest, that's how the Giants won those World Series. It was that core 3 guys, right? Think of the Javi Lopez, the Affelds, the Wilsons, Romos, Casillas, what mix and match you want, the Petites, if you will. Like that's how you win playoff series, is going to the bullpen and being nails in that. So 888-957-9570. Tell me why not, like why the Giants should not go for Shohei at this point. Like I'm telling you, you can keep Patrick Bailey and a Harrison, Wisenhunt, or a Matos. Everyone else is on the table. Hell, a Luciano, you can keep him too. Why not go after Shohei Ohtani? 888-957-9570 is the number. Good morning to all of you beautiful people. I'm Joe Spadoni filling in for Bonte Hill. He's off this week. He's in Hawaii, living the life out in Maui, Joe Shasky. And man, what a weekend of sports.
Look, think about how devastating the trade for Trey Lance has been for the 49ers in terms of production from Trey Lance. Okay? In terms of the straight-up production from Trey Lance. It's been horrible, if we're being totally honest with ourselves. He's played like 3 games.
Yeah.
Okay? And they gave up a lot. They could have had Micah Parsons. They could have had a lot of different players.
Justin Fields, some people wanted him. Could have had, all these other different quarterbacks, yeah.
And they've won despite it. Now, you could say, Joe, they haven't won the ultimate prize, and if they had the ammunition from the Trey Lance trade, maybe they wouldn't have faltered, and they would have actually won a Super Bowl. My counter to that would be, they've won regardless. Yeah. And it was a risky, proposition that they executed. And honestly, looking back, I'm glad they did it. They went for the gusto.
Yes.
They swung big. Now, it might end up blowing up in their face, and Shanahan never hoists a Super Bowl at all, right? But there is something to be said for anytime there's a big-time move. I know the Niners are trying to go big. They're trying to win it all. They're trying to swing for the fences. McCaffrey, Nick Bosa's contract. You think they're going to penny pinch on the Nick Bosa contract? No, it's coming. They're going to swing big. They're going to sign one of their big guys. They signed Debo, right? They swung the deal for McCaffrey. They swung the deal for Trey Lance. They swung a deal to bring in Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy got hurt. They've got enough gusto to actually feel good about him. There's something about swinging big on your organization, and I see the Warriors doing it too.
I want to